Tuning into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yo, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, After Buzzers, and welcome to a special episode of America's Next Top Model. We are covering the eliminated contestant this morning, today. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey, and joining me today on the phone for episode 7 is Kari Calhoun. Kari, you there?
Woo! Yes.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
You're doing amazing. You know, this was a very interesting week of what happened. There was a lot of drama going on in the house. It seems like, is the tension like rising right now in the house? It just seems like there's a lot going on, and people are just like, they're starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah, I think that as the competition like gets further, people's true colors start to show, and more people feel like they need to prove themselves and you know, that they're more important than the next person. So it's definitely a tense time because it's top 10. Right.
Top 10, yeah, it's very important. Everybody is feeling the heat. Everybody's kind of picking out who they think their biggest competition is. How is everybody coming to these conclusions about who they feel their biggest competition is? I mean, you still have a whole panel of contestants in the competition still. How are people singling out one particular person that they feel is their biggest competition?
I think that everyone is just picking, I mean, everyone's confidence level is so high, they don't even consider anyone else's competition. So I think, our cast, everyone kind of only sees themselves, I would say, a lot of the times, and you can't really tell them that anyone is competition.
Right.
I don't think that there's any particular like thing, I mean, that one can point out saying that they're better than the next person. So.
Well, speaking of confidence, you know, you guys went through a makeover type of deal where, you know, certain people got things that happened to them. Shy got her hair colored split right down the middle. Denzel got a beard. You know, Adam got his hair shaved off, and you got your hair bleached blonde. So this is like one of those kinds of obstacles or things that could really shake up a person's confidence if they don't like their look. And so I knew it affected you. You know, how were you able to really get over that? Because, you know, going into a competition, especially a competition that has to do with image, you know, that is something that's actually completely shifting your image, like 180, and making you somebody completely different, and you're looking at yourself different, you're viewing yourself different. You know, that's kind of like how actors get into characters. You know, they get the makeup and whatnot, so now they don't feel like themselves looking in the mirror. But in a competition where you kind of are representing yourself, that has to affect your confidence. And I want to know, how did you get through that, and how did you bounce back?
Well, I don't think that I did bounce back. I think that I kind of got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, you did.
You know, before my makeover, I would have told you that it doesn't matter what hairstyle you gave me or, you know, what look you tried to give me, I would rock it and I would like make it work. But when it actually happened and I was like looking at myself in the mirror, it was like an identity crisis.
Right.
And I really struggled to pull my personality through the makeover because I didn't even recognize myself. And then my confidence, like you said, it was like really shot. And it showed not just like in my pictures, but even just in my like, you know, my relationships with my castmates. I felt myself shutting down a lot because I felt really insecure, and I felt like they're staring at a busted stripper right now. I don't know who this is. It's not me. And I know that if I had to stare at my weave all day, I would be like cracking all kinds of jokes. So it was just like, it was such a downer on my experience. And I wish that it was something else, but it wasn't. And, you know, I did my best with it.
At this point in the house, who is like the favorite amongst who is like getting that energy, that vibe, that attention, that, you know, the energy kind of shifts towards, you know, one person to another based on what the competitions are, what the challenges are. You know, who do you, at this point in the house right now in week 7, who do you feel has that energy kind of like shifted towards them?
It's definitely Baby Linux.
Okay.
She just definitely started knocking it out the park with her shoots. I mean, she did from the start, but I think that she herself is gaining confidence too, and that she's really shining like at this point in the competition. I'm really proud of her, and I'm glad that the attention's on her because she deserves it.
Yeah, she's doing a pretty good job, and she's actually surprised. I think she surprised America and the world watching on a couple of her shoots. You know, she only got 5 frames for that one a couple of weeks ago when Tyra gave her a 1, I think it was. She said she would give her a 0 if she could, and then the following week she was only going to give her 5 frames, and she ended up nailing it. I think a lot of the fans, you know, expected her to be able to nail something in 5 frames, but just, you know, being herself and being in there, I think it was probably, you know, in her own head, it's like something that's really difficult, you know, to nail. And she ended up staying in the competition, and she's shown that she has some talent.
Yeah, she definitely does. I told her from the beginning, I was just like, you need to be like in New York. I think she has such a great look, you know, and she's really versatile. So, and her personality matches, you know, her beautiful image. So it works out for her. Somebody
else in the competition who's turning out to be a dark horse, it looks like Adam. I think a lot of us expected Adam to be going home sooner because, you know, because of his approach. But Adam is he's a handsome guy, and he's learning, and I think he's just open to being very, very coachable, which, you know, in a competition like this, actually having not a whole lot of experience and just the tools to work with could actually work in your favor. How do you feel like he's adjusting to becoming a model?
I think that he is really enjoying the ride. I think that, like you said, because he didn't have any previous coaching as far as modeling, it does make him very moldable. Like, as far as, you know, also, it's like, it's Tyra's show. It's her eye. It's what she thinks, you know, is going to work best. And so I think that he picks up on, you know, what she's looking for, and he trains himself to, you know, be exactly what she wants. So I think it's, you know, he's really enjoying it. I think he's doing awesome. I am surprised too myself. I told him, I was like, I never would have guessed like that he would go this far. I honestly didn't even realize he had made it into the house. Like, it was like such a big, you know, everything's going on, and then it's like you stop and you look like, who's really in here with me? Like, what's really going on? And I was like, oh my gosh, like Adam. And then, but he proves himself like every time, so I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, I'm proud of Adam too. Actually, Adam's a party guy, and, you know, he's really fun, and he has a lot of energy, and just for him to like you know, use his intellect to actually absorb the coaching that he's getting and then be able to apply it. It says a lot about what he could possibly be and potentially be in the industry, even if he doesn't go all the way. He has the tools, and he's directable, which is really, really big, especially being an actor or a model. You have to be coachable. It's like be able to pull, you know, the director, the photographer has to be able to pull from you what they need to get from the shoot. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he ends up in this competition. And right now, I'm throwing my hands up like, I don't know. I would never expect. I never would have expected you. I don't think a lot of us would have expected you to be getting eliminated this early in the competition. I think a lot of us are like really shocked that you've gone home. It's like, what? It's like you.
Yeah,
So this, I mean, it's like when what's her name? Chantel. the one from Canada. That I think when she went home, that kind of threw us all for a loop. So we were kind of like, okay, it's gonna be one of those kinds of seasons. Like they're gonna just like slap us upside the head with things. Yeah, like it's hard to predict just based on the dynamic. I feel like last season was like a test run, and then like this season they've got a cast that's like really
got it all planned out. Right. They know exactly what they're doing.
Right, exactly. And there's a there's a lot of juicy relationships going on, like this whole Mariana Denzel thing, and then you got this whole dynamic about Will and Denzel with this whole homosexual thing that he feels like blah blah blah. Mariana's hating on Shy now because she feels like she's trying to take her man and she's uncomfortable even though she's got a man back home. I'm just like, wow, you could not have written. Well, you could have written this, but you could have. But it seems like it's almost written. It's like really crazy because it's really it comes through. It's very genuine. It's definitely not acting. How did the competition go? The challenge with the acting challenge. How did you guys get paired up for that?
Well, they pre-paired us. I didn't choose Will, but I am so happy that I got to be paired with him. Yeah. Because it just makes it that much more funny. And for me, acting is like, that's just not my realm. Right. And when I came in and saw like a 3-page script and they said that we had to memorize that 3-page script, it just automatically turned into like you know, when things are like so absolutely ridiculous, you just start laughing. It's like, that's exactly how I felt. I was just like, this is already going to be a mess, so let's just have complete fun with it. Like, so me and Will, we had a blast, like, actually trying to act together. It was like impossible to get through without laughing, but we somehow, we pulled it together to make a decent performance. I don't think that acting is really something that I'm going to pursue later on, but I enjoyed the challenge for sure. Yeah,
I mean, it seemed like something that everybody had fun with, and some people took it a little more seriously than others. But I was. And that's kind of what was funny about it. Like some people were like we looked over and like Shy and Denzel were being like so serious and like they're putting their hands on each other's face, and then me and Will are just like big-eyed at each other, like, okay, we have to kiss. Like, let's figure out how we're gonna kiss each other. Like, it was just so funny. Right. Like, for everyone, just to see everyone, it was entertaining. I think it's also funny how Denzel was bothered by Mariana with Keith in a shoot like 2 weeks ago, and now the tables have turned and she's bothered by Denzel and Shy. I just really think this whole thing is just really funny. But to see Denzel make comments, in his journal that, it's like, would I take her seriously? I don't know. Right. If we weren't on the show, would I take her seriously? Probably not. How do you like the journals that are going on right now? Is it shocking to hear what a lot of the comments are that the cast was making during the time of shooting? Like, wow, that's what they were really thinking at that time? Like, for real? Like, really? Kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, like, everyone's, I don't know, everyone's just so fucking crazy. It's just like, I think that, wait, we're discussing Mariana, right?
Yeah, just generally speaking, when you guys have the chance to like have the talking journal and like speak to the camera and give them your thoughts, and now you can see what's going on. Is it like shocking?
Oh, their real thoughts.
Yeah, to see what their real thoughts are.
Yeah, no, like everyone's so crazy, and I don't get surprised when I hear anything out of anyone's mouth. Like there's so many things that weren't even recorded or shown that are just even worse. Yeah. So I think when I do get the little snippet, into their mind for that moment, it's just, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
Well, Raylia and Mariana kind of butted heads there for a minute. I thought that they were going to duke it out for a second. I didn't know. I was like, are they going to fight?
I was just off in the corner eating my food. I was like, what? Because when it happened so fast.
So quick, yeah.
I remember getting on the bus, and, you know, with Ray Leah at first, and then she, you know, I asked her, like, is something going on with Mariana? Because, you know, I just heard her say your name on the fly. And then she was like, yeah, I heard her talking. Wait till she gets on the bus. She was already so hyped. And I was like, this is not going to be good. And then as soon as Mariana stepped foot on the bus, it just exploded. And they jumped up with the cameras. And they were just, like, stressing each other out. And it just really went, like, 0 to 100 real quick.
I like how
exactly.
I like how Keith always seems to have his, you know, he has this game face on all the time. And he was like, well, I hope they fight because then they both go home.
So he can go home.
So they can both go home, and that makes the competition. I mean, that's the athlete mentality. You're constantly thinking about the win. You know, when you're in a competition, you're thinking about the win. Now, speaking of his game face, it almost seems like he has the same face every week, and everybody's getting bored and tired of it. How do you feel like is his energy or that attention is kind of tapering off? And he actually in the ice, I don't know what they called it, the ice something shoot. Yeah, the ice shoot challenge. He actually, they were impressed. Kelly mentioned that he opened his mouth a little bit, so he actually doesn't. I don't know. He looks dead, but not really dead because he opened his mouth a little bit. It kind of works.
He parted his lips.
He parted his lips. That's right. Yeah.
A whole other look for him.
I think that you know Keith has been showing a lot of the same looks. How do the rest of the cast feel about him and how he's been? It seems like he's kind of been cruising by with the same look, you know, and it seems like maybe, I don't know, is it catching up with him now? How is everybody like responding to that?
Yeah, I think that when he first started, it was like he can do no wrong, you know. Definitely Tyra's favorite.
Right.
And I think that everyone expected him to start evolving as, you know, you journey down the competition. And but also at the same time, I have to bring up that picture selection is huge, and we don't have any say over what pictures are chosen of us.
Right.
So I would argue that there are probably a whole bunch of frames in there that he did have a different expression and he was doing something different, but you know, the one that they ended up liking the most happens to be the same face each week, and that's not his fault. I think that he is capable of doing other things and, you know, more different looks and stuff, but that, yeah, he did lose his steam a little bit at this point.
Right. Well, we'll see how he evolves. It seems like the person that's been evolving the most has been Adam at this point, like just from where he started to where he's going. He's definitely evolved the most out of everyone. I think, you know, Keith is probably gonna have to take some notes from that playbook, no pun intended, to get, you know, to stay in the competition and, you know, keep up, because, you know, it's getting thick. You know, the competition is getting thick now. You know, so
it really is.
I think the two things that were really, really funny at the final at the judges panel was the fact that Denzel had these, you know, these perspectives and these views that he expressed during the episode, and he got a lower score than Will, I believe, didn't he? Or he got chosen after Will. So, and then, you know, Tyra made a comment about somebody in heels and then picking Denzel without heels after the fact. It was kind of like you know, put a little egg on your face. And the same thing with Ray Leah and Mariana. They got into this beef, and then you have, you know, Ray Leah in the bottom two. And, you know, she had, you know, she didn't have a favorable shoot for her. So I think her confidence might be shook going back into the house, especially after those words that were exchanged between her and Mariana. And Mariana's just acting like she's the queen of the world kind of thing. That is I think that's going to prove to be, you know, something that's going to probably affect her psychologically later in the competition. What do you think?
As far as Ray Leah's confidence, or Mariana thinking she's the queen? Well,
just as far as Ray Leah's confidence and just the words that were exchanged, and then almost to kind of have those words by the panel kind of, you know, reinforced.
Validate.
Yeah, that's kind of, I was like, ouch.
I think that, I know that while I was standing on panel with Ray Leah, she's like, was literally like shaking. And she definitely wants this so bad. I think this was like her her third or fourth time trying out for the show. So, like, you know, this is something that she's ready to fight for.
Yeah.
And she's very emotional about it and passionate about it. So I think that is going to, you know, she's going to put up a real serious fight. And that being in the bottom is only going to motivate her and fire her up to, you know, really do better.
Okay, so we have to look forward to see what's going on with her. I'm actually I think the audience wanted to see a little bit more of you and Keith's
I know.
romance.
We kept it low key. Okay,
you did keep it low key.
Out there like that.
Right.
Okay,
I think that's kind of a better way to do it. You know, you guys want to take the J and B approach, and Denzel and Mariana taking the Kanye and Kim approach. You know, they just all out there, and you guys are like low key with yours. You know, it's kind of a little bit different.
Yes, it's a little different.
It is a little different.
I mean, even like with me outside the competition, like with my personal life, I do not let anyone in on that, not at all. Like, I like to keep it, you know, very, very blocked off. So
Right.
I made sure that, you know, nothing escaped as far as us two.
Right.
And I think that makes it keeps us focused on the competition too. You know, we don't get carried away with like our personal choices.
Right. That's smart, because you kept the competition separate and didn't intermingle. You know, people do what works for them, but I think the audience would have liked to see a little bit more of you guys.
Yeah.
Even though this Mariana Denzel thing is funny, it's really funny. Your guys' relationship, I think, was something more romantic that people enjoyed watching blossom. But you know, I understand. Everybody has to understand, want to keep your privacy and keep everything, you know, separate and focus on the show and focus on the competition and, well, you know, the reason that you're there to begin with.
Right. Exactly.
What's on the horizon for you, Kari? What's going on? What's going on now? What are the plans? What are you gonna pursue? What are we gonna look forward to seeing you in?
Well, right now I have an online boutique, a women's e-commerce boutique, and I've been putting all my energy into that. That's kind of my passion. That's like my baby right now. And then also I am just gonna continue modeling.
What's the boutique? What's the name of the site? Can people go to it now?
It's called, yes, you can go to it right now. It's Get Glazed. It's GET-GLAZED.com.
Okay.
And yeah, my degree's in apparel actually. And
nice.
I've been working on building the boutique before the show, and then the show happened, and you know, so as soon as I got out, I made sure I launched it. And yeah, that's what I've been working on. And then modeling, you know, just keeping up what I was doing before.
Now, can we look forward to as you being one of the contestants that potentially comes back? Are we still like hoping that you make a comeback?
Just you have to tune in. You have to tune in and see. You have to tune in and see. Because I mean, really, I mean, at least from the comments that I've been reading and stuff, people think, you know, that Chantel has a very strong chance of coming back. And then, but I think that, you know, me and Ivy, we have pretty good looks as well.
Yes.
And that you can't count us out just yet. Right.
So we have to definitely look forward to seeing if you're going to come back. Do you get to color your hair back, or do you have to leave it?
I have to leave it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of have to work with what you were given and go from there.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Figure that out.
Okay. Got it. Well, we'll definitely go on your store, Get Glazed. That's GET-GLAZED.com. And she has a degree too. This girl is smart and beautiful and all these good things put together.
Look,
and
I'm the whole package, boo. I'm the whole
no package, boo. Hey, that's what's up. I mean, we're gonna look forward.
I'm like single and, you know, whatever.
We definitely want to look forward to you coming back, hopefully, and look forward to anything else that you're. You know, I hope that we get to see you in some spreads somewhere. Magazines, editorials, runways, the whole nine. Your agent needs to get you out on a bunch of castings. If you don't have an agencies, I hope you guys are listening to this, because this girl is really talented and she's smart to boot at that. Okay, shoot.
Thank you.
Where can your fans find you on social media?
My Instagram and my Twitter are both Kari X Michelle.
It's Kari what?
X Michelle.
Kari
So
X.
K-A-R. Yeah, Kari X Michelle.
Okay, Kari X Michelle on Twitter and Instagram. You guys know where you guys can go find the beautiful Kari Calhoun, a Cycle 21. Yeah. We're going to miss you until we meet again and see you. We got to get you in here, actually. That's what we got to do next. We got to get you. We got to get you in person.
Oh my God, please.
We'll arrange it. We're gonna arrange it something very soon. I think I smell something coming into the works. Evil laugh, evil laugh. Until next time, guys, I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Club Thaddeus. This has been the eliminated episode of America's Next Top Model Cycle 21. Until next time, After Buzzers, peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.